And there it is.
And we're live. Absolutely.
We're going to push the pod. Let me retweet, like, and send in the chat as per usual.
Oh, yes, the chat.
Boom.
The chat. Chat must be aware. Dude, Drew's gonna miss out, man. He should have.
I wonder what he's doing. Is he on the plane right now?
Is he not hopping in this?
And there's Bob. What do we tell you? There's Bob right there. All right, let's get it going.
Yeah, there he is.
2, 1.
Let's
Philly!
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and all-century team simp lord, Sam Glavin. And we have some very special guests here on the Liberty Line Podcast Network. We've got Danny Deemer and Chris Stumpo of the Liberty Yell, the premier Flyers hockey podcast here in the Philadelphia area, the greater. We've got people in the chat already. Sam,
the gang, Luke, what's up, buddy?
We've got everybody here. Danny, Stumps, it is great to have you. Sam and I have wanted this for quite some time, and we finally worked up the balls to ask you guys to come on the show and chop it up with us. So how the hell are you guys?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm sure I'm speaking for Stumpo as well, because the Flyers, dude, pardon my French off the start, but the Flyers are fucking buzzing right now, man. The Liberty Yell is buzzing. The Liberty Line is buzzing. And, yeah, shout out Liberty Line. But, yeah, dude, Ryan Ellis, Voracek's gone. Flyers land, everything's good. We're doing great. How about you guys?
Damn right.
Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm so excited to actually learn something today because I am the equivalent of hockey. Like I ride the short bus to go to hockey school, basically, is what this is what I'm doing right now. So I'm very excited to learn some new things. I'm excited to learn about the rules of hockey and what's actually going on with the Philadelphia Flyers. So I'm excited.
For sure. Let's just get right into an icing. I mean, let's
get
right
all right. Yes. This is exactly what needs to happen to start off the eepisode.
Luke knew. He knew. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, Danny, go ahead, bro. You want to take that one?
No, you got the whiteboard, bro. Pull out something.
The whiteboard has content on it. I can't erase the whiteboard. But...
Yeah, it's too important.
So icing in layman's terms is just basically to prevent cherry picking. It's so you can't just pass from like behind your own net. Some guy can't just sit all the way down the other ice in front of the other goalie waiting for the puck to just be heaved down to him. He's got to wait to get the puck to enter the zone himself. Kind of like with soccer, with how the offsides works with soccer.
Okay, and, so in offsides, like in soccer, like you have to be behind like the last defender or behind the ball or whatever it is. If the last defender is like behind the ball.
I just explained an offside. So
yeah.
Oh my God, I am sorry about that one. I just explained an offsides to you when referencing your icing.
Oh my God!
Now you're confusing me even more.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Damn,
that's the vape. That's the vape.
That's the THC.
That's the tape. For sure.
Yeah, that was offsides. Honestly, the kind of the same thing as soccer. It's just with the line, and the NHL just changed the offsides rule. What last year with the foot doesn't have to be on the line. I think it can be above the line now. Just has to be behind.
It's kind of like football where you just got to like break the plane.
But icing is the blue line that's in the middle of the ice. You have to cross that. I mean, the red line is in the middle of the ice, not the blue line. The blue line's the offside. I'm sorry. The red line down the middle of the ice. You got to cross that before you dump the puck in, because if you didn't, like Danny said, you'd have dudes like Nikolai Zherda that used to be on the Philadelphia Flyers who would just sit in the offensive zone and wait for the play to come to him. Then he would start playing.
That's why I got confused, because the objective of the two rules is the same. It's honestly just to prevent cherry picking.
Yeah, it's to prevent dudes to just sit down there and just wait for the play, and like they don't want to come back and play defense. That's what
so it's like you have to get past the center line to be able to dump the puck into the zone. If you're behind it and you heave it all the way down, it's a delay of game. It's an icing.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
And then I'll go to open hockey, right? And we'll be playing on ice. And obviously there's no offsides, there's no icing because there's no refs. And so you'll have dudes who will just sit down, and you can't say anything unless you want to get into a fight. But like you have dudes that will sit down on the other side of the rink and just sit there and wait for the puck to be flung down, and then they'll stop playing. That's why icing and offsides is a thing.
And we have a special term. Ryan and I have a very special term for people like that, and we call them palms up pussies.
Can't stand those kind of people, bro.
They're like,
that's
what
cool.
did
I
I
didn't
do?
know you were
Oh, I
still.
see.
Yeah, I didn't know you were
I like
still
that.
playing Stumps. That's pretty cool. What position do you play?
I like to play defense, but my back skating is not as good as it used to be. So I try to just play forward and up. But I try to
That's
get
the
out as
bait.
much as I can. It's my workout, man. Like after you go out and play a 2-hour game, you are drenched and you just got a crazy good workout. So I try to get down there as much as I can.
Look at you. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that just cleared a lot of things up right there.
Yeah.
We do
I'm
appreciate
glad.
that. I always wondered what the threshold was for icing because I knew it was when they would dump it, but I never knew what the actual line was.
Well, that red line that's in the middle of the ice, you got to cross that before you dump it. So that's why you'll see guys come, like you'll see a defenseman come up real quick, make a nice little move, and as soon as I cross that red line, and sometimes it looks like it's even before because of the camera angle, they'll dump it right in and they'll get a line change. That's why you see that they got to skate up.
And it's like a definitive thing with the line, right? It's not like a judgment call from the ref or anything.
It's a judgment call from like the ref could be like, you didn't do it, and he'd be like, yes, I did, and it can be like a back and like it's all the refs. The ref has his say in that. But offsides, there's now like a coach can. I'm challenging that in hockey. If a coach challenges an offside or any kind of penalty, can they challenge penalties, Danny? They can't really challenge penalties. They can challenge a goal or they can challenge an offsides call. And if they're wrong,
it's pretty definitive. Like it really is. Like it's a judgment call, but you really can see it because a lot of times when it is a judgment call, it's because dudes are visibly racing to the red line to get the red line to dump it in. The defender is trying to edge them out from the outside, and usually it's the follow through that gets the stick through. Like so, guys will get it like right before, and then they'll just whip it in and have the follow through past the red line. So it's usually pretty definitive. Like you usually can just tell.
In old-time hockey, not old-time, but they kind of just changed the rule. When, like, if a player and another player were, like, skating to try to cancel out an offsides, it would get, like, really close, and it's caused some serious injuries in the corner, like, because both guys are going hard as hell for the puck. And some dude, I don't know his name. I wish I did. Some defenseman, like, snapped his ankle, and, like, they changed the rule the year after that. So, like, in today's NHL, you'll see that call get called, like, 3 seconds before they like get there. You know what I mean? They call it way before now. So
wow. Well, that I'm enlightened. I feel like I feel
still
like
want the back because
oh no!
Oh, we lost him.
Down.
Oh, that's okay.
Goes.
That's all right.
I think he was going to say that I wish he likes the new offside rule with the skate not having to be like on the ice and above because he's bitched about that multiple times. He hates that rule.
That's great. That's so funny. We have our producer. Seamus G in the chat, and he's a big fan of your pod. Apparently.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, Seamus is my cousin, and he does the highlights that you see on Instagram or on Twitter and stuff.
Thank you, Seamus. What's his name?
Seamus Glavin.
Seamus, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. He's our hockey guy in the friend group. He always lets us know. But he's gotten snailed a couple times because now we are in a chat with you guys, and you guys
has gotten snailed
on the minute. It's there's been the occasional snail emoji.
Where'd you go, bro?
The phone just died, bro.
Leave it out on the charger.
No. I mean, like, it's just like.
Where were you going?
The StreamYard just crashed. Like, my app just crashed. Like, it just disconnected me.
Where were you going with that? You were talking about the offsides. Were you saying that you like the new rule? Is that where you were going?
No, I said offsides. Like, it always really pisses me off because, like, they have a ticky-tack review for it now where they can review a zone entry from, like, 2 minutes prior. And it could be like just a centimeter offside, but the whole goal gets called off because 2 minutes ago, a ref couldn't pick up a fucking millimeter offsides call. So it gets ridiculous. That needs to be changed. I think you should just take out video review for offsides. I really do.
I think it should be if you're in the zone.
If it's that close of a call, it's fine.
If you're in the zone for a certain amount of time, you can't go back and challenge. If you're if a team's cycling in the zone for 30 to 40 seconds, no, maybe that's a long time. 30, 40 seconds, then they can't go back. If they're in that zone and they're handling the puck for that long, nah.
Especially if you have multiple failed clears and you're struggling to get the puck out and you're like heaving it along the glass, throwing grenades.
Yeah. If it's a quick turnover in the neutral zone and then like they enter the zone and they let out like a quick shot and it goes in, then yeah, you can go challenge it. But if they're in that zone and they're outworking you, then no.
Wow. Yeah. That's unreal. There he goes.
There he goes again.
Magus Frazier. Oh no. marred by technical difficulties.
He is on his phone.
Yeah, that'll. I've never tried the StreamYard out on the phone, but I can imagine
I wouldn't dare. He's a brave man.
He is. Honestly, he keeps coming back too, so he is a brave man. I give him props.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, while he's gone, we should talk Phillies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's do that. So I know you got the game on right now, Stumps, and it's not looking so hot. But let's start off on a little bit of a positive note. Let's talk about the game yesterday, which I mean, not much positives other than the 3-run dinger by Rhys Hoskins and then the 3-run walk-off home run by Andrew McCutchen. I would love to get your thoughts on that game, or just like on the season what you've got so far, Stumps, because I know you're a baseball fan as well as hockey. For sure.
I mean, I'm not as big as I am with the Flyers, obviously, but. I mean, I think they got a really solid team, and they can bat. I think they need one more arm on the starting, maybe two, and it's the bullpen, because I really do feel like this team, if they had good pitching, they would have. I mean, they would be in a playoff spot right now for sure. Yeah. I think everybody, like the whole city of Philadelphia, is pretty much in unison with that. It's just pitching that kills us.
Yeah, I agree. I think pitching is the one thing. Like the bullpen has blown a lot of. They've actually been okay as of late. But in that June and like May area, they were horrendous, and it was unbearable to watch, because you knew as soon as they get any kind of lead, it didn't even matter if it was like a 6-run lead or anything like that, they would lose it. But now, for me, I think the biggest problem right now is the consistency of the offense. We have the guys like on paper, you know, we got Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, who's having a down year offensively, and nobody's really talking about it. And you got like Segura. If he didn't get hurt, he'd be an all-star. You know, like
he's been awesome.
You got all these things. Like he's a hitting machine. He's on a 9-game hitting streak right now. And I just need some more consistency out of the lineup. Like you need more consistency out of Rhys Hoskins, who's been good as of late. He'd be hitting like 270 something if he didn't have that 0 for 33 streak in like June or May or something like that. But yeah, they just need to be more consistent. And I think adding another bat in there like Chris Bryant or like, I don't know, like a Starling Marte, that would be fantastic. So that's where I'm at. Ryan, I don't know where you are.
No, yeah. Here's the thing with the Phillies right now is that they're not very good. And when they are good, it's for like 2 days in a row. Yeah. And everyone's like, don't let the Phils get hot. I see Jack Fritz going crazy on the timeline with all caps tweets. And then a few days later, it's just like it's back to where we were. And it feels like we're just kind of trapped in a never-ending cycle to the point where I'm just kind of becoming numb to it. And people are like, oh, don't worry about it. It's only May. It's only June. It's only July. And then now we're almost at the end of July, and it's the same issues. And we're trying to get pitching. We're trying to get more pitching. We can't even get a trade to go through. Yeah. So
that's the other thing is that trade with Tyler Anderson from the Pirates. You know, we were excited to get that another like mediocre, I guess, like better. He's better than Matt Moore. I mean, you can't get much worse than Matt Moore. But I think it's like, I don't know. He's good, I guess. He's got like a 4.2 ERA or something like that. So he's like there with Nola, I guess, which is not great. But he's definitely a better lefty. But we can't even get the trade to go through because one of our minor leaguers that was included in the deal didn't pass the physical or whatever it was. I don't know the details on it. But frustrating stuff. And that cannot be the only move that they make. They need to make several more moves to be able to compete for those 3.5 games that they have to win.
The biggest thing about the Phillies, honestly, in my opinion, is it's the inconsistency with the batting, like you said. It's the inconsistency in the bullpen since forever ago. And then you have Zach Wheeler, who has been solid all year. You have that one guy you can look at and be like, okay, you're going to get a good start from him. And then you have nothing after that. You have Noah, who's been inconsistent all year. And then you have Eflin, who's been hurt. And then you have dudes who should be pitching in beer leagues after that. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be an ass, but Velasquez should not be on this team anymore. How many times are we going to give this guy a shot? Seriously,
you're telling me, man. I am the biggest Vince Velasquez hater in the world, and it's okay. You can be an ass on this podcast. We're both assholes, so it's
I'm
fine.
sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a great dude. But how many times are we going to try the same thing? Chuck Fletcher said it. I'm not going to do the same thing every year and expect the same different results. It's not going to happen.
They call that insanity. That's what the definition of insanity is. Yeah. And then I'm not even gonna blame the player. I'm gonna blame the organization. You're the one that keeps bringing him back. Mm-hmm. You're the one offering him the contract. He's not randomly signing it. He's not sneaking his signature in there. You're offering him that fucking contract. Yeah. Stop. Let him go.
What are we talking about? It's brutal, man. It's inconsistency throughout the entire organization, front, bottom to top.
Yeah, when it does come to Vince Velasquez, that he's been a little bit of a bitch in the last 2 or 3 years from being so. Like last year, I remember there were like rumors that he was going to go into the bullpen, and he was asked about it like during a press conference, and then he got all sad and like upset, and I'm like, dude, shut up, just go do your job and get in the bullpen. Seriously, like I honestly think he belongs in the bullpen. I really do. Like you can only get 3 or 4 max innings out of him. And that's the definition of a middle reliever. Like you need him to go in for like 3 innings until you get to your closer, get some runs, and then go to your closer after that. So I don't know what his whole deal is with that, but he's pissing me off. And another guy that's been pissing me off recently is Spencer Howard.
I was just going to say it.
Yeah,
Spencer Howard. Night.
And you were in the chat yesterday, right? He had
night,
3 solid innings, and then he had the base hit or whatever. Great. He got a base hit. Awesome. And I was like, well, that sucks because now he's not going to be able to pitch the 4th inning because he just ran all the way to third base. And what happened?
Hit a T. That was hit a T. Was it his
the
legs?
Shit, over and over again.
Was it his legs? Is that why you said that? Because you knew he was going to be his legs were going to be a little bit tired from running the bases.
Yeah, he's out of shape. He's fat and out of shape.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was the whole reason we had an episode of maybe like a month and a half ago now, but it was entitled "Pitchers Aren't Athletes" because of Spencer Howard. And like, you know, whether or not I fully agree with that statement, I would definitely not call Spencer Howard an athlete. If you can't run a little bit and then just kind of chill and then throw a baseball when you're supposed to. That's again, another guy that we have probably should just be a middle reliever. I mean, he's filthy. It's like the first and second inning.
Yeah. But he should be nasty. You see that 12-6 curveball and you see how heavy that fastball is. Like he's up 95, 96 in the first 3 innings, and then he drops off drastically and then you see it. So like yesterday I was watching, and I'm watching he's been developing a slider, and it used to be like 82, 83. He's throwing that slider 88, 89 miles an hour. I was like, holy shit, like where did that come from? So like he's an athlete, but he's not an athlete. Like it's so mind-blowing to me. Like it just makes 0 sense. I can't stand it. He needs to go to the bullpen.
His arm's an athlete, huh?
Yeah, apparently his arm is just like the only thing of use for him. But I'm gonna open this beer because I'm getting pissed off again.
Nice.
Is he
more than reasonable?
Now he was like one of the top prospects coming out, right?
Oh yeah, he was like a top 10 pitching prospect in the MLB pipeline, like the whole way.
Oh, every prospect just doesn't ever turn out, especially with the Phillies. We could talk Flyers, but like
Nolan Patrick.
Yeah, Nolan Patrick.
Rough one, eh?
Nobody's talking about how we like the second round pick in 2017. I mean, second overall pick is gone. Like he's gone, Dan. It's crazy.
Dude, he
2017. I know, but like it's crazy to think about like that second overall pick, how valuable that pick is, and we just traded him for like what we had back. It's crazy that it got to that point. That's what I'm saying. It's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, well then let's use this opportunity to shift over into what's going on with the Flyers. I know we had a little bit of banter going on in the first part of the episode, and you're explaining icing to me, and that was all very good. And I still don't totally know what it is. I have to
God damn it, Sam! You idiot.
I know.
We had to sit down while we're watching a game.
We gotta sit down and watch a game together. So on a scale, you brought up Nolan Patrick, right? So on a scale of 1 to Markelle Fultz, what is Nolan Patrick?
Oh, it's Markelle Fultz. It's Markelle Fultz. It's on that level. It might just be a tad bit less just because the hype of Markelle Fultz was insane. Like Feds and all that. Remember the acronym they made?
Feds.
Everyone. We were all so pumped for Markelle Fultz, and we were pumped for Patrick. Don't get me wrong, but
I went to bat for Patrick on the
Fultz
timeline.
just Patrick made occasional good plays, showed flashes of being a good player. Like Fultz just forgot how to shoot. He just forgot how to shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with our number 1 overall picks, and they can't fucking shoot a basketball.
So it's like a tad below.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Markelle Fultz situation, but it's definitely, like he said, it's definitely not very far from it for sure.
And how much of it had to do with injury than it did with like his skill set?
Yeah, I mean, you can compare it on. You can compare on that side too, because I mean, he dealt with injuries in junior a ton, his concussions. He had a couple here, and then obviously with the migraine issue that kept him out for an entire year. And then getting him back on the ice was one thing, and it was really nice seeing him be able to get back doing what he likes. But 9 points, bro.
What minus 30?
I can't defend that in any way possible. So I said on the pod for months, whatever happens with him, we can bring him back on another qualifying offer. Hey, it was really like that last year was a COVID kind of year, coming back from a migraine issue, run it back one more time. And then if you have 9 points in 50 something games again, then you're gone. And then they did what I thought they were actually going to do. And that's what's trade him. But like, I was cool with either way with him because you can't defend that kind of season, man.
And that deal that Phil Myers, Nolan Patrick for Ryan Ellis deal is a banger.
Yep.
It's a home run. It really was. It was perfect. Phil Myers was undrafted. You know what I mean? So anything you get out of him was house money, essentially. And Nolan Patrick, widely now considered a bust, and we just got a top-pairing defenseman, right-handed defenseman. In the NHL, right-handed defensemen are like the most valuable asset in the league, honestly.
Who isn't hurt? People thought he was hurt for some reason. He's completely healthy. Like anytime you can trade Nolan Patrick and Phil Myers, two guys who blatantly just did not have a good season last year, for one of the best right-handed defensemen in the league. Like, you do it every single time. You do it 10 out of 10. Robin Ellis is going to be ridiculous to watch this year. I can't wait.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of the Flyers, obviously Chuck's been making a lot of moves, and I heard it on not this past one, but 2 episodes ago, the TLY, it was hashtag Chuck fucks, and I definitely would agree that Chuck does fuck, just because he's had a flurry of moves, and pretty much
nice. I picked up on that. I got it. That was good.
But he's really just addressed the needs on the defensive, side of the ice, which I think is excellent. I don't know if that's a phrase you guys use, but having a defensive side of the ice. As soon as I said that, I was like, doesn't make it.
No.
I was like,
that's perfect.
I was like, it could work, but so outside of, obviously, Ryan Ellis is like the number one. Like, that was a hell of a move. But
number one,
if you could kind of rank those other moves that he's made so far to acquire D-men, like, what do you think? How would you rank those?
People are going to complain about giving up that second round pick to get rid of Ghost, but I really don't care about picks anymore at this point. Like, we're trying to make this team better now. I could care less about picks. We've seen how picks have worked out for us on the end. I don't care. You can get a player in any kind of pick. So
especially this year.
Yeah, getting him off the books, getting him at 4.5. Hopefully he goes and has a resurgence with Arizona. But you have Cam York on an ELC deal, and then you have Keith Yandel on that $900,000 contract, who can play next to Braun if York's not ready. So, I mean, Provorov, Ellis, Sanheim, Ristolainen, and then Yandel, Braun is a complete flip from last year. So he's completely changed the mentality, the core. And just everything about this team is going to be different next year, guys. It's going to be really fun.
That's cool. Talk to me about this Ristolainen guy. I don't know much about him.
Danny, go ahead.
Okay, he's controversial because many points. He's statistically, like the analytics people, he is in advanced analytics and by some tiers the worst defenseman and 5-on-5 play sometimes. But he plays in an organization where people who go there lose their love of hockey. Ryan O'Reilly, former center for the Sabres, went there, had an interview at an exit interview at the end of one of his years with the Sabres, and he was saying, "I just don't love it anymore. I don't love it. I don't like going to work anymore and playing." He leaves there, goes to St. Louis, wins a cup, and is the MVP of the finals. Loves the game again, and he's not the only example of this. Like, people leave Buffalo and they get better. That's a tire fire of an organization. Taylor Hall, that's another one. Soon to be Jack Eichel as well. I mean, he's already a beast as it is, but he's going to have playoff success finally. And so it's a gamble move, and a lot of people were upset about giving up a first-round pick for a gamble. But one of our biggest complaints of the Flyers last year was that they just weren't physical enough, especially on the back end. They were letting guys get to the front of the net way too easy. And this is a guy that if he has an opportunity to throw a hit, he's going to fucking flatten you. And that's why I'm excited about Ristolainen, and he also brings. He's like silky offensively. He's no slouch offensively. Like it's
4.40
occasional bonehead plays. Apparently, he makes he throw grenades. Like when he's getting the puck out, he'll panic and make a turnover. But Chuck Fletcher was banking on the fact that a good coaching staff, maybe in a better role. You have to think also he was drafted 8th overall in 2014 for Buffalo, so the expectation was so high. It won't be that here in Philadelphia. He'll be on a second pair, and he'll be in a role where he should succeed.
I think he will. He was thrown into a top role when he was drafted at 18 years old. I mean, he's a kid, gets thrown in Buffalo, told to be the guy on a top pairing role, told to be like, go run a top pairing role as an 18-year-old. He has four 40-point seasons with Buffalo since being a Buffalo Sabre on that trash team. So he has the offensive ability. Like Danny said, the second pair, I mean, he's going to let Sanheim. I mean, you guys have watched the Flyers. You see how well Sanheim can skate when he gets going in the offensive zone. He needs that defenseman that he has behind him, knowing that, hey, Rasmus is going to be protecting the defensive zone. Maybe I can jump up a little bit more, because we saw when Matt Niskanen was traded here, Provorov jumped up on the play a lot more, and I think he had a career year that year. That dirty move against Montreal, the overtime goal, was just, you see, not only is it going to help Rasmus, but it's going to help Sanheim in a way where it's going to let him be a lot more aggressive on the offensive side of the game.
That's great. Yeah, I do love like what I've been seeing both from you guys and just on Twitter about Rasmus, just the physicality, just he'll put you on your ass if he does nothing else while he's out there for his shift.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that kind of mentality.
That's actually one of the knocks on him too, though, because sometimes he goes out of his way to deliver that hit, and then it completely takes him out of the play. So that's one of the knocks on him. I don't care either, dude. If he sends Bo Horvat into the stands October 15th, I don't care about a first-round pick. I don't care. I don't care if he lets Sanheim develop more into the kind of game that I really think Sanheim can turn into, the kind of player that I think he can turn into, then I don't care about a first round pick. That was the one draft in a weird COVID year where some junior leagues didn't even play, where you could sit back in the second round and let some elite talent that would have went in the first round fall to you. And that's exactly what they did. They got an elite sniper, one of the best shots in the class, from Finland. Danny, what's his name? I don't want to butcher it.
I might be butchering it as well. Samu Teomala.
Yeah, you might be butchering it as well.
We'll just go with that one.
Wicked shot. That's all I got to say.
Wicked. I
love it. I mean, this is, from my just kind of, less initiated perspective, but I definitely see that sometimes just like, they can pass the puck. They can move the puck great, but that finishing touch is something I feel like they've lacked the last couple of years, especially on the power play.
They couldn't even pass the puck last year, man.
No.
They couldn't even break out of their zone last year, dude. Honestly, like there were so many games last year where we just got hemmed in. Like Danny said, how many failed clears that we had last year just trying to break out. That's one of the vocal points that Chuck has made this year. You got Cam York's probably going to play a lot of games. Keith Yandel is one of the best puck movers in the league. Ryan Ellis is the best puck mover in the league, I think, top 5. So that he really addressed that, because they could not break a puck out last year. It's one of the main things that they could not do. So I agree with you in a way, for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's
trash.
Awesome. And
there he is again. Yes.
Yeah. So I think this is a good time. Ryan.
Damn, he ain't pay the electric bill either from the one and only the Philly pod, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, just that whole
one-liners, dude. It's good.
Hold on, I want to bring something up real quick. It's not Flyers related. The Eagles posted a picture on Twitter of Devontae in an Eagles uniform, and I completely forgot that we had him. I'm talking to Danny said it today. We were like, I kind of just like remembered that we have this kid. I'm really excited for the season to get going.
Yeah,
practice tomorrow.
Yeah. I know. There's did you say you're going to training camp tomorrow?
Oh no, I said practice is tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Training camp I think started today. Or they like reported for training camp today, and they have like practice tomorrow and stuff. But before we get into the Phillies, I should have prepped you guys. Or before we get into the Eagles, I should have prepped you guys for this. But we do this segment called the Doghouse. And Ryan, you do your regular intro here, because I want to get this going.
Yeah, sure. So we're going to segue right into the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Sam, of course, a lot of candidates for the Doghouse. A lot of people to be mad at in the city of Philadelphia right now and beyond. Who have you got in the Doghouse right now?
Well, this is a somewhat boring one, but it has to be done. I am putting Matt Moore in the Doghouse just solely because he was the pitcher at the game on Saturday or something last week when I went, and he was terrible. Oh my God, he was terrible. And then when he got up to the plate and we had like runners on first and second, he couldn't even drop the bunt down, and everybody started booing him, and then he immediately got taken out. I was like, thank God, you fucking bum. And then I was already pissed off because I had a row, literally an entire row, the whole row behind me, Braves fans. So that was I didn't. yeah, it was really annoying. And this one guy, oh my god, I don't even want to get into it because I'll say something and it's just not a good idea. So
Say one thing.
But Ryan, who do you have in the doghouse?
Yeah, I mean, well, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but I was going to throw Spencer Howard in the doghouse just for his complete lack of just conditioning, and I don't know what it is, and also the not so much recently, but I still can't get out of my head. He did use that as an excuse that I had to go run over and throw the ball or tag first base to get somebody out, and that was like to him a legitimate reason, and I just can't help but think that is just still in his head, and it's still in my head. And it pisses me off to watch him because it's like I see you have all this great stuff, and I just want that could be an over the hump right there for you, Sam.
It could be. Yeah, I haven't done one of those in a while, but yeah, we could do that. I know. Fucker. I'm a bum. I'm not as big a bum as those two pitchers though. Do any of you guys, Chris? Do you have a Stumps? Do you have a guy that you want to put in the doghouse?
Yeah, I'll put Hector and Harris in the doghouse.
There you go. Let's just make it. Yeah, all pitchers. Let's just do that. That's great.
Is he on the team still?
Yes, he is. Unfortunately,
he's the worst, dude. Yeah, he's in my doghouse until they get rid of him. I was going to put Ben Simmons in the doghouse, but that's beating a dead horse.
You're a man after my own heart. You know that? You're a man after my own heart. You know?
Like that was bad. We've been in the group chat before and we've defended him against. I don't even know his name. What's his name? Who have we defended? Who have I defended him against in our group chat? Steven?
Me and Steven. Yeah.
I can't defend that after that. So he's in my doghouse until further notice.
There you go. Danny, what about you, buddy?
Jake Voracek.
Voracek. Oh, no. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. You gotta give us something.
No, because his whole time here, he has half of us blocked. He's had me blocked for years personally. Stumpo blocked him on the Liberty before he could get to us.
I had to, bro. Like, if you're gonna block
preemptive strike,
I'm jumping out. I'm getting ahead in the game. I'm gonna block you before you can block me.
That's hilarious. I had no idea that you guys blocked him or that he blocked you. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen. I mean, like, I'm gonna do it before you do it to me. Whatever. Like, he's a Columbus Blue Jacket now, so it's whatever.
Oh wow. Do the Flyers play them ever, or is that like a not?
Yeah, we'll play them this year. I'm looking forward to playing them this year. Yeah, for sure. Atkinson going back against Columbus, and then him coming back here. Yeah, it's gonna be fun for sure. I'm looking forward. He's not in my doghouse like Danny, but
yeah.
Wow.
Did he call Mike Sealski a weasel? Did he call him?
That was so funny.
He did.
Doesn't matter what I say, Mike. You're just gonna write fucking shit anyways.
That was word for word what he said.
I'll never forget it. Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's so funny. Yes, Victor, I have never defended Ben Simmons once in my life. That's very true. Never, not once, and I never will ever again because he sucks, and I want him off my team.
Wait, you still want Ben off now?
Oh, I want him gone. I want him gone so badly. Yeah, I just don't think we can. I don't think we can win with him. He's just not. It's just not what we need. I don't know. Ryan thinks otherwise, but yeah.
No. I don't think anything positive about Ben Simmons right now. I don't.
Oh, there you go.
Anything. You just can't. I mean, and obviously, is he like 24, 25? Is there still a lot of time left for him to figure it out? Yeah. But not as much as there was 3 years ago when we told him to start figuring it out, and he made no effort. But and Vic is saying it in the chat right now. If it ain't Dame or Beal, he's coming back.
I was just going to say that.
But that's what I mean. He's an all-star caliber player. I mean, he's been an all-star, and we should get an all-star in return. And if we don't, then as unhappy as I am with Ben Simmons, I will support him as cautiously as I can. Wow, he's on the team. But I will not be.
You're walking thin ice, is what you're doing.
I will not be losing my head at Sam on a weekly basis like I did for the first year and a half of this podcast, where I thought Brett Brown could actually coach and Ben Simmons is like a championship caliber player. Now I just kind of feel like a jackass. But,
yeah, because you yell at me for no reason.
No, I yelled at you for good reason. Here's the thing: all of your takes were just out of malcontent. You just wanted to hurt me. You didn't actually want to be right. It just turned out that way. And it all worked. It all worked.
It all worked. Yeah, it all worked. It's
sometimes I'm just sitting there to myself and I just go, "Fuck." Sam was right about Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, he wasn't.
As you should. As you should.
I just get upset, bro.
Because I was upset. You know, Ryan, I never asked you how's South Carolina? You're on vacation right now, right?
Oh,
yeah. It's nice. It's nice. I got really sunburned yesterday.
Nice. That's the worst.
Yeah, got toasted pretty bad. Totally my fault. I put no sunscreen on for a 4-hour round of golf. So that.
You're just an idiot.
That was it was stupid. Like I'm not complaining. Like it's just that's just the way it goes. Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're going. I was gonna totally take it another way. Keep going.
I was gonna say what Ryan just said. That is the cold hard truth with Ben Simmons. If you don't get a Beal or a Damian Lillard back, you don't trade him. You don't.
Yeah. Well, I take pretty much that deal that was whatever was in the chat yesterday with like Kyle Lowry and like those 6 picks or whatever it was, and those 3 other players from the Raptors. Who was it? Van Fleet and was it Siakam? No, it wasn't Siakam. I wanted it to be Siakam, but who was the other guy? I can't remember. Ryan, do you remember?
I didn't see it.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe like an OG and
OG. That's exactly who it was. Yeah, that's exactly who it was.
Just one of those guys on their roster.
I would have done that. I would in a heartbeat, and we would have gotten like the 4th overall pick or something like that too. I would have done that in a heartbeat.
All I gotta say is I'm glad you're not the Gallimore.
Yeah. Well, so I just want him gone. Get out of here.
I understand that. I understand that, but like value, man. Like they're not going to trade him for anything less than what they think he's worth. It's just the bottom line with it.
And obviously, I would love to have like a Damian. I mean, Damian Lillard is number one priority. He's definitely my number one priority. Like, but it's like Dame or Beal or a guy like that. Definitely go if you can go get him. But like if you can't, then I'm still going to be like, get out of here.
Yeah, but that's your opinion. Of course, you're going to be like, okay, whatever it takes to get rid of him. That's how people felt about Nolan Patrick this year. But in the sense of thing, the Flyers weren't going to not protect him to the Seattle because they knew he still had some value left, even though he had a shitty year. Right. They got who'd they get for him? Ryan Ellis
don't remember.
They get Ryan Ellis, one of the best right-handed defensemen in the league, for him in a package with Phil Myers. So like they got value for him and back. It's all about asset. I feel like, especially in the cat world.
Yeah. You know, Vic, I wouldn't hate Gary Trent in being included in a trade like that. I'm a big Duke guy. And he absolutely cooked the Sixers in one of those games that they played against him too. I remember.
A lot of people cooked the Sixers.
I hate that, man. Herter. I hate.
Oh, Kevin, I hate. Oh man, dude. I
don't even watch basketball, but that series that I watched, because of course I'm going to watch that series. I hate that kid. How old is he? Dude. He's young too, right? Great shot.
Like 21.
Yeah, he's
22.
Older than 22, yeah.
How old are you guys?
I'm 22.
What are you, Ryan? 23?
23.
Yeah, so we're all the same age.
Yeah.
So that's crazy how 21-year-olds doing that.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where there are pro athletes that are like as old as us or like younger than us. You know, I noticed that within the past year, it's like kind of crazy. So if you think about it, like a kid like Juan Soto, like for the Nationals, came up when he was 19. You know, he couldn't even drink. He couldn't drink for the World Series championship.
I remember that being a story, dude. I remember seeing all over Twitter being like, "It's crazy how you know he did," but
but even so, it's just nuts.
It is crazy.
Now I'm getting to the point where I can like be like, "Oh, this kid can ball," and like it's actually natural for me to call him a kid. Like it's no longer like just using that as a phrase because that's what I hear on the radio. It's like no, like this child can ball like this.
What are your guys' thoughts on Maxey? Like, do you see him staying with the team? Because I loved watching him last year.
I love Tyrese Maxey, but obviously, if Ben stays, then Maxey's going to stay. But if we're going to get a Beal, I don't know about Beal because he wasn't an all-star, but he may have to be included in that deal to get a Damian Lillard or a Bradley Beal or someone of that caliber, just because of that upside that he has, just to kind of offset that Ben Simmons uncertainty.
For sure. We've talked about a few times on previous episodes, would we rather give up Matisse Thybulle or would we rather give up Tyrese Maxey? And I think we both agreed that we'd rather give up Tyrese Maxey. As much as we loved watching, number 0 go out there and absolutely drop some jelly on some guys up on a layup, which is awesome. I love a nice jelly just right off the backboard. Just soft touch. Yeah, I'd definitely rather give up Maxey. Like Ryan, can we just pause this for a sec? Put this dumb question up on the thing from Luke here. So I'm going to read it for the people that are listening at home right now after it's been recorded. Sam, would you rather keep Ben for his career or give up beer for 3 months? Luke, if you think I'm giving up beer for 3 months for anything in the entire world, you are mistaken. So
vastly mistaken.
Luke,
as much as I hate Ben Simmons, I love beer more. Let's get that out of the way.
What are you sipping on right now?
I got a nice Yingling, Yingling
nice.
and it's it's one of those cans. It's a veterans awareness something. It's this enriching veterans lives program.
Yes.
So my case of beer that I bought the money just went some of it to vets. So here's to the
cheers.
Yeah, here's to that.
I don't have a beer, but cheers.
Yeah,
wish I did.
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty much it. We'll talk a little bit of birds. Talk some birds.
Yeah,
dude,
dude.
Come on, we're 1 day away from practice.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. So I don't know if you guys have been looking in the chat at all, but Xavier Howard, the cornerback from the Miami Dolphins, just requested a trade from the Miami Dolphins. He wrote like this whole thing and put it on Twitter. What do we think?
How many interceptions
too much?
did he?
I have no idea off the top of my head.
Pretty sure he just had like a crazy amount. Hold on, let me check real quick.
He was I know he was like a top 5 corner this year.
He was
this
incredible.
past year. He was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. We can while you guys look that up. I'm not trying to sell the farm. Right after we got Steven Nelson, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, would it be great to have him if we could give up, like a bag of peanuts or something and a pat on the ass? But that's my opinion, and I'm no Howie Roseman. So
yeah, he had 10 last year.
He had 10 picks. Well, that's fucking unbelievable. So
we would be
giving up a lot. We would be giving up a lot for a guy like Howard, and the Dolphins aren't going to let him go. They're not going to let him go lightly, So I don't know. It shakes things up, especially since we got Steven Nelson. If we didn't already have Steven Nelson, I'd be like, yeah, I'd definitely go for it, like trade for him. But I don't know. Where are you at, Ryan?
Whew, that's a lot.
I am super interested, obviously, in Xavier Howard, but at the same time, I mean, we have Steven Nelson. I don't know we have those picks next year. We have those 3 first-round picks. I mean, we could leverage one of those and really put together a Legion of Boom style. Yeah, a Legion of Boom style secondary. And we have young corners. And here, Vic said to send him the StreamYard link. So I'm going to copy that and send it to him.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't even see that.
But
yeah, we can get it.
But just, my take is, if it's something that's feasible, that isn't gonna, hamstring this team, because we still really are rebuilding. Like, as much as I love Jalen Hurts, he's not a known quantity to me yet. I saw him play 4 games and he was not good in 3 of them. So that's where I am on that. It's like, if we're gonna go and get this guy, we got to be sure in what we have and know that if this is the piece on defense, that we have an offense that can back that up.
What's the farm?
The first round picks. It would be somebody like, I don't know, somebody from the defense. We'd probably have to give up. I don't know, maybe an offensive lineman. Because they have some issues there trying to protect Tua. So we probably give up. Like a Mailata maybe, or I don't know. We can ask Victor. He probably know better than me. But I would probably be giving up. Like if I were the Dolphins, I'd be asking for like a Mailata or a Dillard or one of those young offensive linemen that show promise. Maybe somebody on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not sure. And then a bunch of those first round picks or second round picks and stuff like that. So that's definitely a question for Vic once he gets in here. Hopefully he does get in here. We'll see.
I have fired that over.
Like Ryan said, if that's the finishing touch, pull the trigger, but it's probably not the finishing touch. Like, this team doesn't really remind me of they're like a finishing a touch cornerback away from really competing. I know, like you said, we don't even know what Hurts is yet. I'm excited to watch him, but he's not.
I am too. And while we're on that, let's talk a little bit about Deshaun Watson. I'm one of those guys where like everybody on or there's like a bunch of guys like on WIP or like go get him, like go get Deshaun Watson, whatever it takes. And I'm like, dude, that's gonna be like 4 or 5 first round picks. It's gonna be like
fuck the picks, dude. I don't want the headache. Like, no, I want nothing to do with
True, and there's that too. And look who it is. It's Victor Williams, the one and only at the Philly Pod. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, yo? I figured everybody else was coming in here to give their thoughts, so
yeah,
I didn't know if Eagles was on par today, but here we are.
Yeah, so we were just talking about it, right? We were just talking about Xavier Howard, and we wanted to ask you what it would take to get a guy like him.
So Xavier Howard, even salary wise, so right now he's the 6th highest paid corner in the league, and he wants to be paid like the top corner. Like, he's not even the highest paid corner in Miami right now. That's Byron Jones, and that's what he's upset about. So he wants top tier money that the Eagles don't have. Period. Obviously, we just got Steven Nelson. So even if you're going to facilitate a trade for Xavier Howard, you probably have to start. Well, you have to start with Zach Ertz, obviously, and move that $8.5 million salary. And then you have to start looking at your other pieces like Fletcher Cox. You will probably have to think about Derek Barnett. He's making $10 million this year. And it's going to take a lot of pieces plus first round picks, which we all know the Eagles could have 3 if Wentz checks out in Indianapolis. But it probably has to start with Ertz and Derek Barnett and go from there. But I don't see the Eagles doing it. Obviously, like you mentioned, they just signed Steven Nelson. So it's not like they have a pressing need for cornerback at the moment. But if they were to kick the tires on there, you have to probably start with Ertz and then Derek Barnett and then throw in one of those 3 first round picks and see if they bite on it.
Jeez, that sounds like too much for me. Yeah, it sounds like a little
much.
much.
If it was Steven Nelson, I'd think about it, but we have him now, and even though they're all 1-year deals, Anthony Harris, Steven Nelson, Eric Wilson, Flacco, all these guys are on 1-year deals. So this time next year, we could have a lot of even more holes than we had this year, but we'll have more money. 70+ million in cap space, So let's get through this year.
Yeah, I can't be thinking about next year. Ryan, you've been awfully quiet, Ryan. What's going on? What do you think?
Just the deal with this year, and I was just kind of curious. And Vic, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Just this team, it's almost like it's because it's the NFL. Every year, you really try to compete, or at least most teams try to compete. There's not like this horrible blow it up tanking so aggressively like in the NBA. Because jobs are on the line week to week. But I get mixed messages from this team. And obviously you want to, have a winning attitude in the locker room and try to actually compete. But I don't know, like, what kind of direction do you think the organization is heading? Do you think they're really trying to and willing to make the moves to compete right now? Or do you think it's still kind of a waiting game to see what they have?
I think with the addition of Steven Nelson, they're trying to let people know that we are going to contend for, at the very least, the division. Steve, again, it's a 1-year deal, so it's not like they're looking into the long view. They want to compete next year, so they signed a 28-year-old veteran in Steven Nelson. They brought in Anthony Harris. They brought in Eric Wilson. Flacco's here. They should have probably signed McMullins before Flacco, but that's another conversation. But all these guys are on 1-year deals to compete for the division next year. And the word on the street is that they're not fully sold on Jalen Hurts. So they're trying to put all these pieces into place so that they can assess Jalen Hurts fairly next season. They don't want to have Jalen Hurts to underperform and then we didn't have the receivers, or the defense didn't help him, and this and that. They want to have all the pieces solidified so that they can fairly assess Jalen Hurts next season, so that if he does underperform next season, they know exactly what they have to do next offseason, whether it be Deshaun Watson if this stuff clears up, or Aaron Rodgers since this is a 1-year deal, his last hurrah with Green Bay, or one of the other QBs in the draft. They want to be able to sit down and look at Jalen Hurts, not worry about the other positions, and say, we gave Jalen Hurts a complete team and he didn't do well, so now we know the position we have to focus on moving forward.
Yeah,
shit,
yeah, that sounds right.
That's dropping some knowledge on these fools here. So
it's the real deal.
My biggest thing right now with the Eagles, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Victor Williams.
Bryce Harper, inside the park home run. That was cool as shit.
Well, there you go.
Shit. That was cool. I'm sorry.
Look at that.
No, more than reasonable.
Awesome.
They're losing 6-3, but that was cool.
That's plus 700 though. Live bet plus 700. They better make it close.
I was tracking the live reactions. I was tracking your face, Stumps. You're like kind of like every second.
Really
I thought it was like a trade or something. Chris Bryant went.
I really hope that makes the highlights. That's awesome. But what I was gonna say was the Philly or the Eagles going into the season. I always feel like they play way better when they don't have any expectations on them whatsoever. So I am going into the season with zero expectations. But now with this whole Steven Nelson signing,
say that now.
I know exactly.
Win week one. We're all
sitting
here. We're NFC
Well, that's what I'm
favorites.
saying. That's what I'm saying right now. Like I'm even starting to get there now with the signing of Steven Nelson. I'm like, oh shit! Like, can they actually can they
Make some
compete?
noise.
So
Make
like,
some noise.
what do you think about that? Do you think they can? Do you actually think that they can compete?
I think they can compete within the division. Steven Nelson's a big deal because if you look at the plethora of receivers that they added throughout the NFC East alone, obviously, Dallas has CeeDee Lamb and Gallup and Amari Cooper. Washington added Curtis Samuel to Terry McLaurin that they already did have. The Giants give us fits with Darius Slayton, and now they added Kenny Golladay to that mix. So there's a lot of receivers that you have to keep an eye on. And Darius Slay and the rest of the crowd, whether it was Avonte Maddox or Craig James or Josiah Scott or Zach McPherson, whoever was going to be in that CB2 slot, didn't inspire a ton of confidence. So now you have a guy like Steven Nelson. You can kind of keep the receivers at bay now, and you can kind of compete with the rest of this division. So like I mentioned, it's all kind of a Jalen Hurts basket. If we're going to compare this to the 2017 season, it's a second-year quarterback with underrated free agency moves. It's the same story this year. So, we all were mad at Howie. Well, I was. I can't speak for y'all, but I wasn't thrilled with Howie with the way the Carson thing went down and all that. But he had a fairly decent draft, and he brought in very valuable pieces through free agency on cheap deals. That's kind of similar to what he did. Alshon was a one-year deal at the time in 2017 and things like that. So if all the pieces go right and Jalen Hurts is ahead of schedule, at bare minimum they'll win the division this year.
Yeah, but I don't mind the sound of that. And the thing is, if as you said, they've trying to put the most complete team around Jalen Hurts to most fairly assess him. I'm just so confident that he's going to do well solely because of I don't know. There's something about Jalen Hurts that is so confidence inspiring.
It's the intangibles, is what it is.
Yeah,
it's
got
the
it.
Leadership. It's the winning mentality. It's that he even last year when you watched him in New Orleans and in Arizona, he never looked like the moment was too big for him. Even when he was in that shootout with Kyler Murray, like they had no business being in that game. But Jalen Hurts was he didn't shy away from the moment, and that's when I started to put the pieces together that Jalen Hurts is wired differently than another quarterback here. So if anything, with a complete offseason and he gets a chance to work with these receivers more, he's already close with Quez and he already knows Devontae Smith pretty well. Zach Ertz is sticking around for however longer we're going to hold on to him. There's pieces in place for Jalen Hurts to succeed. We'll just have to see if he's going to. We'll have to see the offense because Sirianni is a factor in all of this too. What kind of offense is he going to run? Is he going to let Hurts try and run? Is he going to force him to be a pocket passer? Is he going to do less 2 tight end sets and kind of let Dallas Goedert do his thing? We don't know the kind of offense he's going to run either. But for Arcega-Whiteside, you better hope that he can transform him into Michael Pittman or something.
Yeah, right. I'd cut him tomorrow if I could.
Maybe you shouldn't even still be on this team. Yeah.
No, my God, he's terrible. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why I haven't heard, I haven't heard a peep about Nick Sirianni and what he's going to be doing for this season. All I've been hearing is about, we need more players. There's so many holes in this team, but I haven't heard anything about the coaching staff, absolutely nothing. So can you is there any kind of rumor or anything that you've heard about what the coaching staff is looking to do? What are they going to be? I have no idea.
The only inkling we have is that he is confident in using his skill players in places that they're going to succeed. And we got that when he mentioned Jalen Reagor. He's not going to limit him to the outside. Now he's going to be in the slot. He's going to use him in jet sweeps and use him more as a gadget player, which he was in TCU. And even Jonathan Gannon as a defensive coordinator, he has a very, very good track record with the cornerbacks over in Indianapolis with Kenny Moore and Rock Ya-Sin and those guys he kind of developed over there. He turned those guys into a bona fide secondary. And which is why I wasn't going to be that upset if we didn't sign Steven Nelson, because I was going to hope that he could develop the corners that we do have. But now we have him, and now Jonathan Gannon won't be as pressured to turn Avonte Maddox into like a Champ Bailey or something. Yeah. But now Maddox, he's the biggest winner out of this Steven Nelson signing, because now Maddox can go into his rightful position as a nickelback, and he's only 5'9". He shouldn't be playing outside anyway, but the options were limited last year.
Yeah.
So he can play in the slot now. He can do what he needs to do. You have Craig James. You have Josiah Scott. McPherson can develop at his own pace instead of throwing him into the fire. But Sirianni, everything's encouraging. He's real hands-on. He has 89 running backs to use at his disposal between Kenneth Gainwell and Currion, and if Jordan Howard's still going to be here, and Miles Sanders. And you have all those guys that you can still use. So I'm encouraged with how Nick Sirianni is going to use this offense. I've been watching a lot of Colts tape to see what kind of things they're going to do with him. And if there's any inclination to how he's going to use Jalen Reagor, I will go watch a lot of Zach Pascal tape from last year because that guy was all over the place. So that would be my recommendation.
Good to know.
Wow, that's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Vic, I have a question though.
Yes, sir.
Are we not one injury away from being right back to where we've been for the last 2-3 years with this
If we're talking about
cornerback?
the O-line, then yeah, we are.
No, I'm talking about cornerback. Aren't we like one Slay, God forbid, one Nelson injury away from this cycle happening again?
If Slay goes down, see, before the Steven Nelson signing, if Slay goes down,
knock
you're really
on
in trouble.
wood.
You're really in
That's what
trouble
I'm
if
saying.
Slay goes down. But he looked good last year. He fought through a lot of injuries. He played through a concussion, which he probably shouldn't have done, but he played through a concussion last year. So, but he's getting older too. You know, he turned 30 in January, so he's getting up there. Steven Nelson is 28. So you hope that he can hang on. But you're one injury away at any position. So, so I mean, if the O line, you know, if Lane Johnson goes down, we're in shambles. I think Slay can hold up well. He played in 15 games last year, so he didn't give me any reason to believe that he doesn't have the endurance to get through the season. And Steven Nelson played majority of the season last year. So if those two can hold up, and Anthony Harris and Rodney McLeod stay healthy, McLeod is trying to play week 1. His training camp status is uncertain. He's trying to make it back. It's a second ACL injury now, so he's trying to be careful. But as long as they stay rock solid behind him, and you have Kevon Wallace at safety developing also, I think it'll bode well for the secondary and cornerback especially.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
If Slay does go down, we're in trouble. But we're all in trouble if any cornerback goes down. So if Jalen Ramsey goes down for the Rams, they're in trouble.
I know. I'm just saying, like the depth behind the guys that we have scares me.
We have a
That's all I'm
lot.
saying.
It's just not a lot of proven. It's McPherson, it's Josiah Scott, it's Avonte Maddox, it's Craig James, and then it's a bunch of names we never heard of before.
Yeah,
So
it scares me.
Kevon Seymour, you know, we watched him get cooked all year.
And Jaquette, that Michael Jaquette.
Now, see, Jaquette, I enjoy because he was put in a very bad position in that Dallas game. There's no reason he should have been on Amari Cooper like 13 times that game.
That was wild.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
He had a good game in Arizona. He had a productive game in Arizona. He didn't like keep Hopkins in check, but he ran with him for the most part. And then Cooper just burned him to all hell in the Dallas game. But that's a position he should have never been in. In a full offseason, I think he can be productive in a limited role. That's only role he should be in is a limited role.
Right.
Wow. Look at us getting the inside info from
not inside. Don't let people don't not inside. Don't spread that.
The inside scoop. Some journalism going on right now.
I don't need my DMs on fire about what I am and what I'm not.
Oh man, Ryan, you got anything else? Chris, you got anything else?
Get your Q&A out the way now. I don't come on here too often.
Yeah.
Not during the Eagles season will be fun.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. But I mean, right now, I just want to say thanks to Stumps and Danny for coming on, Vic for hopping in the last 15 minutes to talk some birds.
As you can see, my electric bill is on. I don't know what cave he was broadcasting from.
Yeah, seriously. I wasn't going to say anything because he's our guest, but I was like, yo, Dan, and he was doing
Wi-Fi cut out. I was like, no electricity, no internet. You're in the third world country right now.
Sam, you should have cooked them.
No,
I did comment, and then I was like,
first time I've ever talked to him. Like,
I see a silhouette. That's all.
He's a great sport. Thanks for having us on, though. It was just fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
this is great.
man.
We'll definitely do it again. This has been the Howl, Ryan. Go ahead. This has been the Howl. Thank you very much for joining us today, Victor and Chris and Danny. Even though he's not here right now, make sure you guys follow both of them at the Philly Pod. And shut up, man. At the Philly Pod and at Chris Stumps and at TLY Danny and at the Liberty Yell. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
At the Liberty Yell, and then of course at Wolves Abroad ST at Wolves. And at the Liberty Line or at Liberty Line.
If we got out of here without that, I literally would never come on the show again.
No, I said, and of course at Liberty Line PHL at Liberty Line PHL and follow.
White Plane got a shout out Liberty Line. Whoever
White Plane Floor Supply has been our sponsor since day one, so I don't know that got slander in the chat. I didn't
if it's wide,
it's okay. Yeah,
they've got it.
They've got it. And follow us on Twitter at SamGlavin06 at Ryan Conway 76. Seamus G, close us down, buddy.